up, you guys? It's Molly. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you're new here, and welcome to another video. If you are new here, my name is Molly. I am a sophomore at the University of Alabama. I'm a public relations major and a Pi Beta Phi here, and today's video is one I've been waiting to film for quite some time now. Basically, I am doing a video that is everything to know before joining a sorority. That includes rush prep and rush tips. That includes things to keep in mind about being in a sorority, what it means to be in a sorority, because frankly, a lot of different places have a different meaning of that, and here at Alabama, obviously Greek life is a huge part of this campus and this university. A lot of commitments and things like that to keep in mind, and so I kind of wanted to address all of that in one big video. So we are going to be talking about how to get into rush, how to register for rush tips for the event itself, outfits, just like general advice, how to know if a sorority is right for you, and then we're going to get into a little bit about what the commitments of being in a sorority here looks like. So I'm really excited, and let's jump right into the video. Before I start, I do want to mention this really fast because I know that a lot of people do look to the University of Alabama for a lot of Greek life advice, just because it is one of the largest Greek programs in the country, the largest sorority recruitment in the country as well. So a lot of people do look to me for sorority advice maybe outside of this university for other schools, and I just want you to keep in mind that our rush process might be a bit more formal than some other ones, so I would just kind of research that, talk to some people from your own university if maybe that is what you're looking for, to see if things are similar or different. I just wanted to put that out there to keep that in mind for anyone who's watching who is not coming here or is not a student here. But most southern schools I feel like kind of have the same vibe though, so I think it'll work out really well for you guys. So the first thing that I want to talk about is basically how to get into rush and or how to register for rush. So registration is posted on the Panhellenic website each year, and if it isn't posted yet, it will be very, very soon. There are multiple waves of registration. The earlier you register, the cheaper it is to register. You do have to pay to rush in sorority recruitment just because they do put a lot of things together for you. They give you t-shirts for philanthropy round, you get a Greek chic book, so there is money that goes into it, and you do have to pay a fee. For people that did not know that, you do have to do that. So another thing that's really important about sorority rush registration is when you are going to go through rush, letters of recommendation are something that they encourage you to get. So if you're not familiar what a letter of recommendation is, basically it is a letter from a current sorority member or a sorority alumni, basically vouching for your character and the person that you are. So you can get these in a variety of different ways, and I know this is a very stressful thing for a lot of people that maybe don't come from a Greek life family, maybe they're not legacy anywhere or anything like that, and they don't really know where to begin. My best advice for you, my mom was a legacy in Pi Phi, so I knew I had Pi Phi checked off for the letters of recommendation, but some advice to get some other letters of rec from other people that maybe you don't know, I would definitely recommend posting on your social media. Your Facebook especially is a really great one. It's a lot of your mom's friends, your family friends, things like that. People know people, and it really does help in that way. My best recommendation is definitely to do that, and also chances are you will find people through the people that give you letters. You can say, hey, do you know anyone in this sorority, whatever it may be. I will say to look at the Panhellenic website for the requirements for each sorority, because some sororities do allow you to get letters from current members and some only allow alumni. So I would just look at all of that on our Alabama Panhellenic website if you just need some clarification on that. The next thing that I want to talk about are just some general rush tips and things I really want you guys to keep in mind. I will definitely try to do a more full video of rush tips closer to recruitment this year, and an outfits video as well once again, which I have done in the past, and I will link them in the description, but I just think it's important to do a new one every year, especially given the changes we've had. But I do want to talk about some rush tips that I think are important across virtual or in-person recruitment. Probably one of the most important pieces of advice I will give anybody going through sorority rush anywhere is to be open-minded, and that isn't even just about the houses, which obviously is very important, but it's also really important to be open-minded if for some reason recruitment once again is virtual or partially virtual. I think one of the most important things that you realize going through rush is that the process is your process, and we all do this week of recruitment for you to find the sorority that you should be a part of. When I say be open-minded, I mean obviously people talk, it's inevitable. People might try to put things in your head about certain houses. Every house is a great house. Every house has incredible women, incredible philanthropies, just incredible people in them, and don't listen to other people's opinions of a house if that's the house you want to be a part of. At the end of the day, that's the most important thing. It's a harsh reality about recruitment, but a lot of girls do come through recruitment already basically making their mind up about what house they want to be a part of, and maybe treat houses not as openly as they should, giving them a fair chance. And I think that that's a really important thing, because a house might just surprise you, maybe break all expectations of what you expected. This other piece of advice I think is really important, and this was something I really had to force myself to do when I went through sorority recruitment, and that is to push yourself to be talkative and confident in yourself. I'm a very introverted person, and so putting myself out there in rush where girls are literally coming up to me so enthusiastically and basically wanting to know everything about me kind of is a hard thing for me to navigate and deal with, just because I am more of a private person in terms of my personal life and experiences and all of that. But I will say I think you do get the most out of recruitment when you're open and honest to the actives that you're talking to, because I think if you're closed off, maybe not as talkative, the conversation won't flow as well, and you really won't get down to what you really need to know about each house and the level of comfort you might have there or might not have there. I try to put myself out there and be enthusiastic in every single house, because I think that helps you kind of gauge what is similar to you and what's different from you in a house and your values and everything like that. It is very important, because I do know girls that go through rush that maybe aren't as enthusiastic, and sometimes I think they maybe lose the effect of the experience because they don't really give it everything they have, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Obviously, if you're shy, I'm shy, I understand it, it's normal, it's real. I'm just encouraging you guys to really just try your best to make the most out of every conversation in the house, however that might look like for you. My last category for specifically the sorority rush process is outfit advice. I have talked about this in a few past videos, but I think it's just really important to reiterate for those of you that might be new here and maybe don't know exactly what your dresses should kind of look like or be like in terms of requirements and everything. They don't have a set dress code. They encourage you to wear what makes you feel most confident, and that is really, really important. But my best advice for you guys is maybe just not to wear something too short or too tight or too revealing. Those are pretty much the three main categories that I would just encourage you not to do. Obviously, if it is in-person recruitment, it is very, very hot outside, so make sure it is a light material. Don't wear long sleeves or anything that just kind of adds an unnecessary layer of sweat. But those are definitely just the requirements I would say to keep in your mind when you're dress shopping. And some places that I really do recommend that I found a lot of really great dresses are Free People, Princess Polly, American Threads, South Boutique. Any Southern boutique is really always open to helping you guys pick out your recruitment outfits, and I recommend Princess Polly as well for the philanthropy round for shorts. Another thing that I would really recommend when you're picking out your rush dresses is to talk to other PNMs that are going to be going through rush with you about what they're wearing, because I think sometimes that as things like change, like as I get older, obviously rush and what's in style won't be the same, so talking to them will really help you get an idea as well, which is obviously another really easy way to go. And my last piece of advice is to pick outfits that show your personality. I think that's really, really important. Obviously, there is the sweat factor to keep in mind. Maybe don't pick something that sweat shows right through. It's just very, very hot here, especially in August. But I just really encourage that, because it also gives them a really good idea of kind of the person you are through your fashion. And I always say fashion's a really good way to express yourself and who you are, and that is no different for rush. So those are my rush outfit tips. This next category is so important, and it is how to know if a sorority is right for you. Basically, these things that I'm about to tell you are things that I picked up from myself going through rush, also advice that my Rokais gave me, my family and friends gave me, and it really does reign true throughout every year of recruitment, so I wanted to share them with you guys. So you will know a sorority is right for you when you don't have to pretend to be someone you're not. You don't have to pretend to be too introverted, too extroverted, but I just encourage you to be completely honest with what you're looking for in a sorority, because it'll kind of help you navigate to what you want, and just really be willing and open to asking the tough questions, genuinely the questions you want to know that you might be a little bit scared of or maybe a little bit unsure about, and that kind of helps you figure all of that out. It's also really important to think about this when you're going through rush, but if a sorority makes you feel like you have to always be on and always have to be made up, basically you will know a sorority is right for you when you don't feel like you always have to be your best self, that you can be vulnerable and sad and angry and frustrated around your sisters, and that they'll support you, because at the end of the day, that is a really important thing for me. You know, I talk about mental health pretty openly, and I deal with anxiety a lot, and it's something that really I wanted to feel comfortable talking to my friends and my sisters about. And it is an open conversation that me and my friends have a lot of the time, like if we are feeling stressed about something or anxious or whatever it may be. And that was something that was really, really important to me, just being able to have open and honest conversations about how we're feeling. And I think that's something you guys should look for as well. Something that I found in Pi Phi that I just realized was so important going through recruitment was a genuine connection to the sorority's values and their philanthropy. Pi Phi philanthropy is Read, Lead, Achieve, and it is focused on literacy and it is something really near and dear to my heart. I did a fundraiser in high school where I raised money for books and other education materials for schools in inner city Baltimore that maybe didn't have as much funding as they really needed to allow their kids to really thrive and grow. And when I went through Rush and found out that their philanthropy was literacy, it made me so happy and it made me feel so comfortable, because it's something I was genuinely passionate about and something that I genuinely wanted to contribute to. And also Pi Phi's values just really spoke to me, you know, during Sisterhood Run when they really emphasized those. I felt a genuine connection to kind of the vibe and what they promoted in the sorority and how they wanted their interactions with their sisters to be, and that really meant a lot to me and just influenced me a lot to go Pi Phi. This might be the most cheesy piece of advice for how to know if a sorority is right for you, and they will say this to you during in-person recruitment or honestly even virtual recruitment, but when you are in a party or getting ready to go into a party during pref, look at the girls around you, because one of the two houses you're at, those girls standing around you could very well be your sorority sisters and the girls you spend the next 4 years of your college experience with. And it is a very, very important thing. If maybe you're surrounded by girls and you feel very uncomfortable, it kind of immediately gives you that idea of, whoa, I should kind of question this. I really need to think about this carefully. And when I was in line for Pi Phi, I remember a lot of girls from my Rho Chi group were in that specific party that I was in as well. And on bid day, when we opened our bids and we found out like what house we got a bid from and everything, we were running down to go run home to Pi Phi, and the girls I was surrounded by were just like so happy and so excited, and some of those girls are my best friends to this day. So it really just goes to show how important those moments are. The last category that I want to talk to you guys about is the reality of what a true commitment to being in a sorority is. I know that might seem intimidating to a lot of you, but if I'm being honest, I was scared of what a sorority commitment really meant because it came from up north and sororities weren't as intense, I guess, down there and as prevalent in each college community, and so I was a little bit scared about what that really meant. But I just wanted to kind of talk to you guys about that just so you can get an idea. If you are preparing to go through recruitment, it kind of gives you an idea and a little bit of a head start on what to expect. So I'm gonna jump into that. So one of the biggest parts about being in a sorority is that you do have a commitment to your academics. Each house is different in what that looks like. Some houses do study hours. Some houses do study hours just for a few months just to kind of like help you with your transition. Some houses just have a GPA requirement. They really just want you to stay above a certain point. And if you get below that, maybe you just kind of have to like talk to someone and work out what has really led to that and maybe what we can do to improve that. So that's just something that's really important to keep in mind. Obviously for me, academics, schoolwork, my education has always been very, very important to me and something that I prioritize above everything pretty much. And so it's just something that I really appreciated that Pi Phi did, and all the other sororities really do as well. It's just very important to represent yourself and your sorority in the best light. Another thing that's really important about being in a sorority is that you have a commitment to being an involved member of that sorority, as well as being an involved member of the campus and the university that you're a part of. So what that would typically look like is, especially with philanthropy events, different fundraisers, or even just like random extracurriculars. I know a really big one here that many members of Greek Life participate in is our UADM, or UA Dance Marathon for childhood cancer, and that is a huge thing that sororities have teams fundraising for and different things like that, and it's a really incredible organization. They just expect you to really be an involved member of the community, really get yourself out, put yourself out there, and help to improve the community in however you can. It's just something really important to keep in mind, that you kind of are held to a standard of helping to just kind of grow your community, whether it's in your sorority, your university, or beyond. One of the most important commitments of being in a sorority is a commitment to your sisters. I was talking a little bit earlier about how my friends kind of have an open conversation about if we're ever feeling anxious, depressed, like just sad, anything like that. I feel like we do have a very open and honest conversation about that when we're feeling that. We don't feel like we have to hide that from people. But maybe some people don't have that reality, and it's just really important to be there for your sisters in any capacity, even if it's someone that maybe you aren't very close with. You can see they're openly struggling. It's really important to just be there for them and support them in any way that you can, whether it is mentally, physically, anything in between. Okay, you guys, that is it for everything to know before joining a sorority. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, hit the subscribe button down below, and if you have any more questions about what it means to be in a sorority, comment them down below because I will totally answer them, and I'll be going through the comments. If you have any questions at all, I would be more than willing to answer, and I really love talking to you guys, so reach out to me via social media. All of them are linked in the description. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys next time.